This is a game of Hive, a fun game involving these cool bug tiles. Throughout the game, we'll be building a single hive with both players' tiles. Players will also be moving their tiles with the hope of ultimately surrounding their opponent's queen bee. And the first player to accomplish this wins the game. So during the game, each player will take turns on which they choose to either add a new tile to the hive or move an existing piece. And let me go over each. First, to add a new tile, you simply bring a piece of your choice into the hive and connect it so that it only touches your own color. You may not touch your opponent's colors. The only exception is, of course, the first move of the second player will need to touch their opponent. Other than that, when you bring in a new piece, it has to touch only your own. As you're adding tiles to the board, keep in mind that within your first 4 placements, you must place your queen bee. If you've placed 3 pieces and you have not placed your queen yet, your 4th move must be placing your queen. And anytime after your queen bee has been added to the hive, you're welcome to use your turn to move an existing piece instead of adding a new piece to the hive. So each of these bugs has a different movement rule set, and let me illustrate each of those for you. So first off, the queen bee can move a single space on the perimeter. So you can picture this as moving from one side of a connected hex to another. So for example, this queen can move right here. Next, the spider, right here, can move exactly 3 spaces around the perimeter. Never less, never more. So for example, this piece may go 1, 2, 3. Now the ant is a very flexible piece. The ant can move any number of spaces around the perimeter. So this is a very flexible piece. I could take this ant and move him all the way over here. Next we have the grasshopper. So the grasshopper can move over other pieces in a straight line as far as he wants. He can't jump over holes. And so say this grasshopper wanted to move this direction, he can move over here. And the grasshopper can go quite far. If I had this grasshopper here and it was White's turn, he could come all the way over to this point here. And finally, the beetle. So the beetle can move exactly 1 space, just like the queen. But he also has the option to climb aboard other pieces. So perhaps he'll be here and he can move up onto this piece. In a future turn, maybe he'll come over here. And he may also spend his turn to come down. And this is the only piece that can mount on top of the other tiles. So as an additional note on moving tiles, you may not move a tile if it would cause other tiles to shift. For example, if this was the scenario here, this ant may not move out because he would cause these tiles to shift away. So at this point here, he is locked in there. The other note is that you must always maintain a single hive. So for example, this beetle may not move because he creates 2 hives. So that move is not allowed. So players will take turns in which they'll either add a tile or move a tile, and ultimately the goal is to surround your opponent's queen bee. The tile surrounding the queen can belong to any player, but once that is accomplished by a player, so let's say this grasshopper is here, he'll jump here. Once that's accomplished by any player, that player that finished that surround will win the game of Hive. Okay, that was the basic game of Hive. This is a quick little bonus segment to discuss 2 additional tiles that are offered as an expansion to Hive and included as a bonus in some editions of the game. So first off, the mosquito. The mosquito can act as if it is any other bug that it touches before it moves. So in this case, it is touching a grasshopper, so it can act just like a grasshopper. In this way, it could take on the opponent of the bug, and it doesn't matter if it's your own bug or an opponent's bug. In this case, it can act as a grasshopper again or as a spider. And it completely changes as soon as it moves. Whatever new bug it is touching, it can act like that on future turns. The only exception is if it is mimicking the beetle. So if it climbs aboard the cluster of tiles like this, it will continue to act as a beetle until it descends again. So the final one is the ladybug. And this is similar to the beetle in that it can jump on top of the other tiles, but it always moves 3 total spaces, 2 on top and 1 back down. So in this example here, perhaps he'll go 1, 2, and then that third move has to be back down on the ground. So I really enjoy these 2 bonus bugs, but it is a great game without them, and I'd recommend new players try the game first without them.